Amnesty International is condemning the killing of a massacre in Ethiopia over the weekend. The Oromo Liberation Army allegedly dragged 54 people, mainly women, children and the elderly, from their homes and killed them. The incident happened shortly after the withdrawal of the Ethiopian Defence Force from the area. Deprose Muchena from Amnesty International joins us to talk about this. A very good morning to you. Tell us more about your findings and what happened there.
Good morning, Jane. We are very concerned with developments in Ethiopia at the moment. I think what happened is on the 31st of October, we gathered information that is now, a matter of public record, that an attack took place in a village in Guliso district of West Welega zone, just a day, after troops were withdrawn from the area in rather unexpected fashion and without explanation. As a result, at least we confirmed that at least 60 men, women, children were killed, and property was looted, and anything that the attackers could not take was set on fire. And this represents an escalating series of political developments that really threaten to undermine the stability of the country. And the allegations was that, at least from sources that survived, was that the people who attacked them identified themselves as the Oromo Liberation Army, which, as you know, is the splinter armed group from the civilian party. And this happened on 31st of October. And since then, there's been
to what end? I mean, what do you think the Oromo Liberation Army's goals are and what they were trying to achieve by this sort of attack?
Well, I can't speculate what the goal was, but clearly this is not an isolated incident. There has been a series of similar attacks on ethnic minorities in different parts of the country in the last 2 years. Recently, there has been multiple attacks in the month of September and October 2020 here on ethnic Amaras in the Metekel zone of Ben Shugal, and also in another area, the Ben Shango zone of the southern Ethiopian regions.
And why is this happening, do you think?
It's an ongoing, as I am explaining, an ongoing pattern of developments arising from a series of grievances and tensions that are now finding ordinary people as victims of an unfinished political struggle between the various groups. And also this is a manifestation of the challenge that exists in the country of ethnic cleavages that Prime Minister Abiy's government has not really brought together since he came into power and launched a series of political reforms which were firstly praised, but now being accused of undermining the very basis of the modern democratic state that he was presiding over. So you see this series of attacks that are taking place in the country, and it's a pattern. What we are concerned is that ordinary people's rights are now being seriously violated and undermined.
The army apparently pulled out shortly before this attack happened. What role do you think the army is playing, if any, in these sort of incidences?
Well, it is still unclear why the unit of the military stationed in Gawagang village had been pulled out on 31st of October without enough security for the ethnic minority community in the area. What Amnesty International has requested of the Ethiopian government is to investigate the decision for the withdrawal of the forces just a day, before the armed group attacked the residents.
All right, you're also calling for fair trials. I mean, obviously you've got to arrest people first, but what chance is there of having that?
Well, it is very important that when incidents of this nature, when killings on minorities, ethnic minorities are carried out, or when killings on any individuals carried out, that authorities have to launch a full-scale investigation which is independent and effective. And we emphasize fair trials so that courts are not used as sites of political persecution in the name of prosecution. So it is very important that the authorities in Ethiopia do investigate these cases, because the presence of impunity in the country, going back to a couple of years that we've been reporting on, is a major structural driver of violence that essentially encourages armed groups to do as they wish, because they know that there are no consequences. And at the end, it is really villagers, ordinary men, women, children, who are victims of these blatant human rights violations, including the right to life.
Frightening. Deprose Muchena, very good to talk to you. Thank you for that.